Hello everypony, SoulDragonWithFlow here, and I'm back with my very first fanfic reading, hooray! How do you like my new audio setup, everypony? Sounds better, doesn't it? Took me a while to try and figure out what to do, but I did it. I did it till it hurts. Thank you. Just want to thank my kind of audio buddy, Steve, for helping me out with this. Because just audio is so complicated to me. It really is. There's just so much marketing crap. Anyway, we're going to be kicking things off with my very first fanfic. This is a normal fanfic, not clotfic. It's not even romance, actually. It's just a fairly short slice of life fic called One Very Bad Bunny by Ian Pearson J. Davis. It's just a kind of really short scene and interaction interlude between Discord and Angel Bunny. Now, words cannot describe how much I hate that bunny. I really do. I really hate that bunny. Just I don't know what it is. I want to strangle him. I want to do unspeakable things. None of them particularly pleasant. I really hate that bunny. I do, but the sounds of this fic, Discord feels the same way too. So that's okay. Anyway, without further hesitation, let's jump into this. One Very Bad Bunny by Ian Pearson J. Davis. Chapter 1. Discord lay upon the branch of his thinking tree, dreadfully, shamefully, horrifically bored, far more so than any self-respecting master of chaos should ever be. He rolled over onto his back as his talons on the digits of his lion paw twiddled idly. What he typically considered fun had always been decreed by others, specifically Celestia and Luna, as evil and psychopathic, which had never really bothered him until befriending Fluttershy. Unfortunately, even without Fluttershy around, he found that he had begun to grow an annoying tendency that she called a conscience, and he hated it. It meant that even if he could do whatever he wanted, and was reasonably sure that no one would find out, he still couldn't fully enjoy himself as he used to. It was utterly beyond his comprehension. Such ponies were never Fluttershy or Twilight, so why did making others tools for his amusement now make him feel bad? Now I'm going to redo that whole thing. It was utterly beyond his comprehension. They were not Fluttershy or Twilight, so why did making others tools for his amusement now make him feel bad? These thoughts were really bringing him down. There had to be something he could do to cheer himself up. These thoughts were really bringing him down. There had to be something he could do to cheer himself up. Looking at the fluffy pink leaves providing him shade gave him an idea. Discord grinned to himself before disappearing in a flash of light. Upon arriving at his destination, Discord took a brief pause before lightly knocking at the door to the cottage. Anyone else, he would have gladly shocked and annoyed for a quick chuckle. Well, except for Twilight, he supposed. It took her a little while longer than expected for Fluttershy to answer the door. Perhaps she was bathing? The thought occurred to him to pop in and see, but the last time he'd needed something and tried that, he'd got an earful from Fluttershy for invading her privacy. Honestly, these ponies were so ridiculous with their hang-ups on public indecency. It wasn't like most of them typically wore clothes all that often anyway. Finally, the door opened to reveal Fluttershy, who seemed to be preoccupied with something.
Oh, good afternoon, Discord.
She greeted as cheerfully as ever. It never ceased to warm his heart how kindly she treated him, but that still didn't change the fact that she'd kept him waiting for so long. Fluttershy, I've been standing out here for hours. What in the world could you have been doing in there that could possibly be more important than me? He asked with a mixture of hurt and irritation. She knew how easily he got bored.
Oh, I'm sorry,
she replied regretfully, hanging her head. Discord almost felt bad, before he realized that she was actually just looking down at something. Behind Fluttershy's foreleg was a white ball of fur that appeared to be tugging at it. Discord's neutral expression turned to a grimace. While Discord enjoyed spending time with Fluttershy and valued their friendship highly, he didn't like everything about it. Specifically, Angel, that ironically named, spoilt rotten, flea-bitten waste of rabbit flesh. Every single time he came over to spend some quality time, he would constantly be fighting the loathsome creature as they vied for Fluttershy's attention. It had been amusing at first, but that enjoyment quickly degraded to tedium with its repetitiveness. Angel Bunny. If it hadn't been Fluttershy, Discord could have sworn that whoever named him was being ironic. Why she had so much affection for the little rodent was beyond him. And yes, he was aware that rabbits were technically legomorphs, as Twilight had so irritatingly felt the need to correct him on it, before he zipped her mouth shut. Honestly, how could Celestia stand having such a know-it-all for a student?
I'm afraid today isn't very good for a visit,
Fluttershy continued apologetically.
I need to go into town and pick up some more food for Angel.
Angel crossed his forelegs over his chest, while nodding with a smug grin. Oh, I don't think that would be necessary, Discord replied jovially. I am Discord, remember? He snapped his fingers as several rows of carrots began emerging from the ground.
That's very generous of you to offer,
she replied uncertainly.
But Angel's a very picky eater. He won't even touch some foods unless he's been made to perfection.
Discord felt his temper rising. Clearly this was what the little pest wanted. With Fluttershy in town running an errand, Angel would be able to stir up trouble and blame it all on Discord. She would think that he was responsible, and he'd be no longer able to visit. Then Angel could stay as Fluttershy's favourite. It made perfect sense. That was all right, though. After all, there was an extremely select few that had ever been able to intellectually match Discord, and he wasn't about to let some long-eared rat join them. Even better, he exclaimed. I could stay behind and house sit while you're away. I've been spending so much time with you. He reappeared next to her while picking up Angel with a talon and pinching his cheeks. That me and this little fluff ball haven't got time to get to know each other, he cooed.
Well, if you certainly won't be too much trouble,
Fluttershy continued uncertainly, as Angel broke free from Discord's grasp and began bouncing up and down frantically. Trouble? Discord repeated. Why, it would be my pleasure. After all, isn't that what friends are for? After putting her saddlebag on and exiting the cottage, Fluttershy turned back to Discord.
I really appreciate you staying behind and looking after everything for me. I promise I won't be gone too long.
Nonsense, Discord repeated cheerfully. You take as long as you need, dearie. Relax. Maybe treat yourself at the spa? As a master of chaos and disharmony, there is nothing that I cannot handle.
I think I will.
Fluttershy's smile brightened.
Rarity will appreciate the company.
As she left, Discord waved with an odd, nagging sense of déjà vu. Bye-bye, Fluttershy. Have a wonderful time. When she was out of sight, he turned to see Angel standing in the middle of the living room, glaring at him with his forelegs crossed. "And what are you looking at?" Discord asked, making sure his contempt for the creature was made obvious from the way it oozed from every syllable. A devilish smirk began to slowly creep across Angel's face, as he revealed a rock he'd been hiding underneath the sofa, before casually tossing it up in the air and catching it, as Discord's eyes followed it suspiciously. Angel then launched it through the window as an ear-piercing sound of shattering glass caused Discord to wince as Angel flashed another devious grin before hopping past him to get outside. "Amateur," Discord growled before snapping his talons, causing the shattered glass to reform into an improved window with his beautiful, grinning face giving a thumbs up with both paw and talon while wearing a black jacket. Fluttershy would never know the difference, but now he needed to seek retribution. Angel had just attempted to besmirch his good name by framing him with a frankly amateurish setup. Of course, he couldn't do anything long-lasting if he didn't want Fluttershy to be upset with him. Discord then heard some commotion coming from the backyard. Teleporting there revealed another headache. The chickens were squawking and running wild, which meant Angel must have done something to rile them up. He picked one up before it pecked his arm with a beak, causing him to drop it as he grimaced. Stupid flightless birds. Ironically, they were just as useless and annoying as Rainbow Dash's precious Wonderbolts. He then snapped his fingers again, transporting all of the chickens back into their coop, along with a sleep spell to keep them sedated for a few hours until Fluttershy got back. This was now beginning to irritate him quite a bit. Out of the corner of his eye, he could see Angel hopping off again, on his way to cause another disturbance, no doubt. Angel was stopped, however, when he felt the dirt beneath his paws began to turn to mud. He tried to continue on his path despite it, only to realize that he was stuck. With both forepaws, he tried desperately to pry his hind leg out from the purple muck, but to no avail. In fact, it felt like he was beginning to sink even deeper. "You smooth, you lose, Angel," Discord gloated, standing over him. "That's what I like to call this little invention of mine. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink." Angel simply looked up at him with a glare. "No, it's not like quicksand," he insisted. "This is purple, and would have turned whoever became caught into it a complete jerk. But you're already one. Anyway, so much for having a lucky rabbit's foot, eh?" He gestured to his clawed foot, which morphed into a white rabbit's paw to emphasize the joke. Angel merely rolled his beady black eyes in irritation. "And yes, I am done," Discord retorted before grumbling. "I had several more, but my accursed brain failed me again, and I can't seem to remember any of them now." In a flash of light they were back in the living room, with Angel seated on the couch, as Discord snapped his fingers one more time, causing Angel to become wrapped in chains with several padlocks on them. Discord then produced a small remote with a keyring and pressed a button, causing a sound to emit from the keyholes as they lit up in sync with it. Briefly, he considered leaving it around for Fluttershy to use whenever Angel began acting up again, but he reconsidered upon realizing that, if she wasn't so forgiving, these links wouldn't have been necessary in the first place. Angel reminded him of that pink tiara filly or whatever her name was. Honestly, he couldn't be bothered enough to care. Only Angel's actions were affecting him. As the front door slowly began to creak open, Discord quickly removed all traces of the chains by snapping his lion paw behind his back. "Fluttershy," Discord greeted warmly. "Welcome home. I hope you enjoyed yourself."
"Oh, yes, I had a wonderful time at the spa," she replied cheerfully. "I hope Angel didn't give you too much trouble. He can be a bit irritable when he hasn't eaten anything."
"Oh no, I've had him under control the whole time," Discord replied. She sighed with relief.
"Lotus said that all the tension I've been having was because of all the stress I've been under. I love taking care of my animal friends, but it's a lot harder than it looks.
Well, if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to ask for my assistance. My door is always open for you, he replied, looking down at Angel, whose ears poked up in alarm. I'd love to look after that adorable little bunny again sometime, he continued before he and Angel glared at each other hatefully.
Oh my, what happened to the window?
And there we are, everybody. Apologies if my kind of voice acting wasn't completely up to par of what you might be expecting, but I am still new to this and I'm still trying to work on my range, which is kind of the reason why I chose this fic in the first place, because I figured, Discord and Fluttershy aren't too difficult characters, and I just figured, so let's just start off nice and easy, well, as easy as they come, and try and work my way up from there. Also, I kind of like the way this one's written, so thanks to Ian Pearce and Jay Davis for posting this story. I honestly did think that the two characters really did act themselves quite a lot, and that's always a good thing when you're writing. So very funny in my opinion, very kind of pleasant, short comedy interlude. If anybody has any suggestions as to fanfics I should read, do please feel free to suggest them in the comments below. Until next time, see you later, every pony. SoulDragon out.